We live.
Hey
Hey,
yo,
what up?
I
What up?
turn your volume down. I'm gonna be real loud. Now, usually I go live on Sundays, but I ain't went live in three.
It's been about 3 weeks.
Math was my subject, sir. So we ain't gonna try to add on the internet. What we gonna do? But
We got
look,
you, pal. We got you.
now I got two great guys here, man. I think y'all know, but if y'all fellas don't mind, can I introduce y'all? I mean, can I get that privilege?
It's your platform, baby. You do you.
Now, first off, this guy with the name Turf Therapy, better known as Turf Therapist, the garden sensei, the know of all lawns and plants. Turf Therapy himself is in the building. What's up, Turf?
What's popping,
What
man?
up?
Good to be here, man. That's a
We
heck of an
also,
intro.
I try, man, I try. Lion Crest Outdoors, better known to some as the soil professor, the microbial master himself, Lion Crest Outdoors in the building. What's up, Lion Crest? Glad to have
Hey,
y'all
hey,
in here.
hey. We just chilling. We chilling. Glad to be here after a long day's work. As Turf said, that was a wonderful introduction. I appreciate that. Got me
Yeah,
amped over here. Got me hyped.
This is what I
yeah.
want. Now y'all know I stay amped. I'm probably the oldest guy with ADHD on the planet. But once you mix a little wine with your
Mm,
boy BrokeFarmer,
mm.
fun times are ahead.
They are
So
coming.
it's springtime, y'all. So
Yeah.
what else would we talk about? Let's talk about a couple spring topics. But before we get to that, I want to say hi to a couple people that came in the house, to hang out with us. Now, of course, I saw this comment earlier, but Miss Shirley, OG Gardner in the building on a Thursday, not a
What
Thursday,
up? What
a
up?
Thursday.
How you doing, Miss Shirley?
If
How's
y'all
it
don't know,
going, Miss Shirley?
she got her channel popping over there. She dropping videos, and y'all go check them out. The OG Gardner, Miss Shirley. I know
Mm.
who she is. Shirley Wings.
There she
Black's Tropical Homestead in the
What up,
building. What's up,
Soul
Black Tropical?
fam?
There you go.
Um,
That's them soul gangsters right there.
Soul gangsters.
Soul gangsters right
and
there.
they got it signed up for the 20th through the 22nd of this month. I'm gonna be down there, and I'm gonna be partying. I don't know what everybody else doing, but
Hey,
look, I'm gonna have a cassette tape of Will Smith and Summertime, and then I'm gonna see if Q want to ride. If Q want to ride, then we're gonna be drinking non-alcoholic Heineken, and we're gonna party like rock stars. That's what we gonna do. But if
hey,
y'all are interested in going to the meetup in Savannah, Georgia, May 20th through the 22nd, email Black's Tropical Homestead. I'll go up to their channel and watch a video and put a comment in. However you want to do it. Aunt Tia's backyard in the building. Glad to have you in here, Aunt Tia.
hey, what up, Aunt Tia?
Hey, Auntie. That's sunflower.
Hey, it's pretty. It's beautiful. I love that bee in the frame too.
Sunflower. Then she caught the bee in the frame too. I don't think I ever noticed the bee.
Yeah, I just
I've
noticed
never
it because
noticed the
Broke
big.
glue it up.
So my
I've
wife,
never
she bought a
noticed.
whole bunch of little dwarf. No, she didn't buy it. Somebody gifted to us. Actually, dwarf sunflowers. I'm gonna put them along the edge of my bed on the east side of it. It's gonna be done.
Fancy. Look, I got some chocolate sunflower seeds. I didn't even plant them.
Mm, you
Slipping.
slipping. You slipping, man.
Super slipping. Sunshine on a cloudy day. Thomas
What's
in the
up?
building. What's
What's
up?
up?
What's up, Sunshine Thomas?
Now, yeah, of course my chat jumped for a minute, but I'm back.
It's a lot. It's a lot of people.
And if y'all see somebody, we all family. Y'all holler at y'all cousins. I'm trying to catch up to some of them.
Hey, well, what up, Food by Faith?
What's up,
Food
G
by Faith
Mama?
in the building.
G Mama Grows. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Growing with Hudson? It's good to see
Woo.
you this evening.
Looking so good, gardening out there in them streets.
Hey, Calvin, what's good? The
Cutting Tammy,
weekend garden show. Hey, Sam in the building.
Sam, and we have Cutting Tammy. What up, Cutting Tammy? Glad to have you in here. My Renaissance grandma, growing with Hudson in the building. Melissa Jameson in the building. What's up, Melissa
Hey.
Jameson? Sunshine Thomas, OPS. Oops, Lion Crest. I just think of you as the heart of growing. Look at that.
Hey, those are
what
super
I'm
kind
talking
words. That's super kind. I appreciate that.
And that's how we all should think about it. Q get physical out there in that garden. Look, first off, let's stop for a minute. Let's stop for a minute. Turford, you don't mind, sir. I don't think Q get enough credit for what he brings to the community sometimes. My guys out there, what you said, Turf?
I said I agree. Amen.
That man be doing big work out there in the garden. And one, you email Q about a situation, or you put in a comment about a situation, he gonna get it resolved for you, or give you a good way to go about getting it resolved.
Oh,
so
yeah.
how
I'm gonna try
about
to help.
how about first off, the 23 people that's already in the chat, check your subscriptions and see if you subscribe to Lion Chris Garden now. Come on. I mean,
Hey,
why not?
go show some love. Go show some love.
Go ahead and give it a look. I always
And
say,
yeah,
give it 3 videos. Before you
exactly.
make a decision, just give it 3 videos. Family,
Give me 3.
Give them 3.
You never know what it could be.
3.
And if you don't like them 3, it's probably you and not Q. I'm just gonna. I'm just saying. It's probably not Q, man.
Hey, speaking of videos, bro, like, don't we got something that we about to have coming soon?
Yeah.
Can you spill the beans? I don't think we can spill the beans though.
Don't spill it all the
Okay.
way. You can just give them a little sniff around the corner. Just a little peep around the corner.
A little sniff.
A little peep around the corner.
Yeah.
TLC. Go ahead.
Well, no. I was just thinking because the sniff that we giving them. Okay, so
it's springtime.
It's springtime. It's India. So there's a big. You know where I'm getting at when I say India, right?
I don't think the chat does. You're gonna probably.
Okay. So I need to get a little bit closer then. Okay.
Yeah.
We trying to take care of things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that. And I'll also say one more. We gonna make it rain.
Ooh, yeah, you gonna make it rain.
Am I part of this?
Walls broke. That's
Q what?
Let me add a little bit to this. Well, we're going to do something that you may have seen it before, but it's going to be different for our community. We're going to give you 3 videos individually, but it's all surrounded around one topic. And it's going to be cool. It's almost going to be like, remember those books that you can choose your path. It's like, oh, if you want to go to the mall, go to page 67. But if you want to go to the DJ party, go to page 58. It's not going to be that complex, but it's going to be something like that. We're all going to do it, and we're all going to give you 3 very different, distinct options for every gardener out there that's going to help you this spring. Boom.
And the cool thing about it, it's never one way to do nothing. Whatever you want to do, take a couple opinions. And in this case of the subject matter we talking about, you get 3 opinions.
That's right.
Can you go wrong like that?
Hey, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Turf therapy. Sir, what is this?
Hey, that's love right there.
Hot.
Shout out to the panel.
Look at him. Hey, first off, I appreciate it because with a broke guy like myself, $10, I probably can live 2 weeks off that. So, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
But that's stretch.
We're gonna jump into a little topic if y'all don't mind. Now, I know that Turf, you growing internationally right now. Shouts out to GT Junior Grows It, Alaska in the building. What's up, GT?
Hey, what up, GT?
But we know you can grow around the world. So, Turf, what's new in your garden? Where you at? Out there in Germany? Come on, can you grow out there in Germany?
Hey man, come on, now. You put me anywhere in the world. You put me on Mars, I'm growing potatoes. You know what I'm saying? First of
There's
all,
a lot of holes out there.
But I'm laughing at Food by Faith real quick. She said, when you put it all together, is y'all going to the strip club in India. That was funny. I just had I wasn't gonna let that one slide. But look, man, I'm growing some am I growing anything that y'all have never seen? Yeah, I've grown about 3 to 4 new plants from seed that you've never seen me grow because I've never grown them. The biggest new thing in my garden, to be honest, is the irrigation. And I have the man below me right now on the screen, below me on the screen, but not in life. Understand that. But um, I have him to thank for and Cam from Elevated Lawnscapes. Without them, it wouldn't have been possible. And it's my irrigation system, man. I got a 22-foot garden bed that it has not rained for 2 weeks in Germany. 2 weeks in Germany, and guess who don't care? This guy, because my lawn and my garden is completely irrigated, and there's no sweat. I can control it from the other side of the world. I'm here right now in America and can turn my water on if I wanted to.
That's
And
so dope.
I got my man below me to thank for spending the countless hours mapping out that project, and Cam from Elevated Landscapes from my lawn community brethren in the chat right now. And if you're not clipped in, this is the MIG squad right here, Men in the Garden.
MIG.
But if you're not clipped into the We Working team for the lawn care side of things, you better come check us out, man. You can learn something too. But
Y'all got grass.
hey, but we ain't got just your ordinary grass, bro.
No. I mean, people who watching.
Oh yeah.
If they paid attention in the last one you dropped, they would know that you laying low out there.
Yeah, I'm in the low cut society now. We're over here trying to grow carpet, outdoor carpet.
Hey, that's mean.
Hey, that's what's about to happen. You're gonna see I'm cutting the grass for the first time when I get back. So far what I failed on growing, I got cherry trees. One thing, I've learned two things so far from my climate. Quinoa, it ain't gonna cut it in my climate. And beets are better sown for the fall than for the spring in my climate. So yeah, man. That's why I got plenty more, but the videos they're gonna start rolling out now that I finished a 3-month project. There should have been 5 people doing it with me, but I did it all by myself. So.
Hey, let me
Should have had a whole dang film crew out there doing it.
Yeah.
Not even just the film crew, just like the straight up aspect of doing the labor that you did.
Yeah, it was.
What up, Grace?
I sifted 10 tons of soil.
Who you sift? Wait. By hand? By hand?
I made a sifter, a 1/4 inch chicken wire sifter, and I sifted, well, not 10, probably 8 tons of soil. I take 2 tons off. Yeah.
Wait, what does that translate to in cubic feet?
A whole lot.
There you go. There you go. That math.
You gotta trip people up with that.
No, I wasn't trying to trip it because tons. That's not a typical measurement in my defense. I was like
That's true. In my defense, in your defense, and mine, when I did the math, I did it for cubic feet. When I went to go place the order with the Germans, they was like, "Oh, okay, so 10 tons," and I was like, "Sure."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "All right," and they dropped it off. Thank you very much, Miss Shirley, for checking out that video. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's. Whew.
And
Even that's my bad. Shouts out to who?
Pause at 1 second, sir. Grace Gines, welcome in the building. Indiana Backyard Garden in the building. My cousin, your cousin, Canadian Proud, Get Outdoors is definitely in the building. Now, Mr. Q, sir, what were you saying?
No, but what I was saying was, I was just piggybacking off of what. Dang, I forgot what we were talking. No, I don't remember what we were talking about. But yeah, as far as the tons, like not even knowing what the measurement was, I knew that was a lot of sifting. Even not knowing, like, I mean.
Okay, first off, you know what? I was gonna play with the mayor. I'm really not gonna do it. I was gonna Q. You had me about that close. I was about to entertain.
Right now. Here, I got Google right in front of me. 10 tons of soil.
What's up, G Mama Groves?
Cubic.
What's up, Ultimate Acres? Glad to have you in here.
What up?
Garden State Gardener. What's up, Coach?
It was, so they're saying it's about roughly 24 cubic feet per ton. And I did, so that's like 200 cubic feet. Plus or minus, yeah, something like that. There you go, bro.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
Goodness gracious.
You know that really ain't my thing. Veggie Farm Garden, what's up? Good evening, MIG in chat.
Yeah.
And somebody asked earlier, what is MIG? Q, you want to tell her what MIG is, sir?
So MIG is a collective of us brothers who are just looking to share and improve what we know and what we don't know. So we're looking to share what we do know, and we're looking to improve on what we don't know. And we want to even improve on what we do know, and we've come together to just be able to resonate together. Like they say iron sharpens iron. We say titanium sharpens titanium over here. We lightweight, but we the hardest with it because we coming with it and we sharpening with it. So hey, that's what we do over here. We literally just kind of chisel and cut, and then we come out on top with a whole new sheen. So, and we do that on a somewhat pretty much daily basis. What up?
I gained 2 pounds of muscle. I got
and take it a step further, and Q was about to hit it, and he kind of took it somewhere else. But we rely on each other. Like it's like a therapy session, safe place for all of us in there. When we have issues, even outside of gardening, we bring it to the table and we speak to each other like men. So much in this society, we have teenagers trying to be men that are still teenagers at heart. You have these childish ways about you, and we found each other, and all of us resonated with each other, and we hold each other accountable as men. So that's the layer deeper to men in the garden. It's not boys in the garden, but it's men in the garden.
Grown men. Now look, I was gonna say something about the beard, but turf,
Hey, don't trip. You know I can go.
Hey, you give Turf 5 hours. He about to have a full beard, right. So don't even trip. He be shaving every 3 hours up in this mug. Like it's a state of emergency up in that thing.
Right.
Got that 12 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, don't do that.
Let me holler at a couple more folks that just stopped in to say hi to us. Backyard Farming It with Ashley in the building. Glad to have you in here. I saw there you go. Beauty in the Garden. What's up, T? In the building. Glad to have you in here. I missed one more. Oh, there you go. Who was that?
Hey, there you go, T. Beauty in the Garden.
Yeah.
T.
Nucci, Maine.
Nucci.
And if you're from the South,
is you related to Gucci?
No, it's not pronounced Gucci, Maine. It's Maine.
It's Maine. Yeah, it's
Maine. That's some country stuff. So I knew exactly what it was.
That's your cousin then.
My cousin Nucci, Maine in the building. But let's change topics for a minute.
Let's do it.
Now, it's hot. It's super hot.
It's perfect where I'm from. I'm just telling you. It's hot where y'all at, but where I'm at,
you talk about it got up to like 94, 90, 93 in some places over here.
No. I'm cooling on a good 77 degrees high. You know what I'm saying? About 55 lows, boy. Life is
we're gonna bust now.
It's all good. We gonna eat up all the okra. We gonna eat up all the okra right now. Okay.
I ain't growing no okra. Can't waste my daggone time.
So let me ask y'all. Now what? Turf, be honest. I think I know how you feel about this subject matter.
Okay.
What's some good hot weather gardening advice? That's what everybody want to know. It's hot. Turf. Q. How can I get this stuff to grow in all this heat, sirs? How can we do it?
I'm gonna let Q have that one first, because mine is real short. But I don't want to be long-winded. So Q, that's on you.
Okay. And I'm not gonna be too long-winded, maybe just a tiny bit. So, what I'll say about it is, you want to have your garden pretty much somewhat established when it starts to get warm like this, because if you don't have establishment protecting that soil from getting cooked up temperatures and things like that, you're gonna really start to have some struggles with your plants putting out too much water in the environment. So, have your shade cloths, like Indiana Backyard Gardener says, and have your plants established, because you got to have shade cloths to start new plants at this point in the season, if you're starting them outside especially. So that's really what I got to say about that when it gets real hot like this.
Well, okay, since Turf, you want to go last, let me tell you, Now, I wanted to have a great answer like Q, but he kind of took the great answer. So I'm kind of gonna tell the truth. I'm gonna thug it out. I'm gonna plant whatever out there. If it live, it live. If it die, it die. And we're gonna ride just like that.
Let
All
me add. Let me add one little thing. So the way that you could protect your ground is having vining plants of all kinds take over your garden to a degree, and then just making little spaces in it to grow other stuff. Because that's what I mean by having your garden established. I want to be a little more specific about that part because you're trying to protect your soil from the sun just like baking that thing. So that's it.
All right, Tur. All the press on your shoulder, big guy. You got to come through in the clutch. People want to know.
Okay, this is what I
Oh,
got. You might not like it, but hey, that's between you yourself. That's your business. Like Tabitha Brown said, that's your business. This is where I'm at with it. There are very few limited plants that enjoy the temperature, the air temperature above 90 degrees, as in high and sustaining over 70 degrees at night. Very few plants like that. My philosophy, when temperatures are reaching or getting close to those times, I'm going inside. I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna drop some seeds, get them ready for when it cools off. Anything that's outside remains there. Yes, you can use this protective measures to try to fight mother, well, not fight, but mitigate Mother Nature's effects on your crops that are coming in. But I say time them perfectly so when your hottest months, whatever two hottest months you have, because it's usually a strong two, that's just bejesus hot. I would rely on fruit trees and perennial plants that don't require a lot of attention. Don't be out there falling out in front of your yard, having people call the police and the ambulance for you. I say ambulance, not
the
ambulance.
ambulance. Appreciate that. I understood.
Ambulance. When they call the ambulance for you, and just take a break. Take a break. Get regather your things. And I see this all the time in the community. I see it every year. People out there, they're trying to fight Mother Nature through the summer, and guess what? They slip and they don't do anything for the fall because you're tired, and you should be tired because you was out there when it's over Jesus hot. So go ahead and take a knee, make you some iced tea, drink you some Kool-Aid, some grape drink, whatever
Whoa,
it
whoa,
may
whoa,
be.
whoa. What flavor Kool-Aid?
Hey, perfect.
I look. I knew you were gonna say a color, not a flavor.
Purple. But that's my recommendation to you. Go ahead and take a knee, man. Let Mother Nature have that. Mulch your stuff. Prepare for the fall to come. That's my take on. I'm not fighting with Mother Nature. Now, I don't live too long to die in no daggone front yard. No.
In the big facts. I mean, when you ask three different gardeners, a question, it gonna sound different. I mean, everybody got their own outlook on gardening and how they plan on handling things. Now, me, I'm trying to get physical out there. I don't, I'm trying to get a whole bunch of food. I'm trying to fill the freezer up this year.
You getting up there. You get you one of them. What's them aid things that the people they got? You could just pull it and then the people come for you. They used to have it on the telemarketing shows.
I've fallen and can't get up.
There you go. You need to get you one of them, put them around your neck, have it ready.
I just look. I fall out by the tomato. I hit the button, and while they come, I'm eating tomatoes off.
bro. Okay, bro. Your green screen look like those videos that be real funny. Like your like when people be doing stuff like. I don't know. It's just those. It's a lot of shorts.
That pop in and out.
Yeah, like because oh man, like you should do shorts with your green screen sometimes.
Yes. I will. I'm definitely.
See, they own it in the chat. Is Life Alert, Lifeline, Medical Alert. GoFundMe. Let's start a GoFundMe for Broke to get him a Life Alert because I don't want you out there in them streets like that, bro.
Hey, what up, Ultimate Acres? How you doing this evening?
God's Construction. What's up, God Construction? Indiana backyard. That's another good idea with the mulch. But and look, I'm a free thinker, and sometimes it get me in trouble because sometimes free thinking is dumb. Let's be honest. Sometimes it is, but I'm starting to question mulch. You back up. Don't nobody fall out. Now, I'm really starting to question it because if it's 100 degrees, full of humidity, if that mulch is too heavy, I'm starting to think that it might not be a good idea for your vegetable plants, your annual plants. Now, for your, and look, this no science. This is just what I'm thinking out loud, which is usually a bad idea. But I'm just talking through my thought process. It's 100 degrees. Humidity is super high where I live at. You covering them roots up. You ain't had rain for 2-3 weeks. At some point, too much mulch is damaging them roots. Now, turf, Q, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong because of something that you said that kind of like backed everything that you said. Too much mulch. I think
Yeah.
what's important is that you mulch properly. Mulch is definitely going to help your circumstances. Usually, typically, you don't want to go more than an inch high on your mulch, and you can always volcano out little pits, not stacking it up against the main root line of your plant to encourage root rot and whatever. I mean, the not the root rot, but it's called stalk rot or something. There's a proper name for it, but mulching properly is where and as far as like humidity and dealing with fungus and stuff, that's the airflow of the actual branches and leaves of the plant. That has nothing to do with what's going on underneath. So I would still be a proponent of mulching, especially when it's bejesus hot and it hasn't rained. That mulch is helping keeping that moisture in the soil.
Now, I just brought that up so for a good point. But
Yeah, great point.
the whole point is when in Indiana backyard garden said,
Coming out with a great advice too. Yeah, mulch keeps your soil
Well,
regular.
and let me ask something real quick on that too. Like, when it depends on how you're planting your plants too, because plant depth on top of how much mulch is going to play a huge factor. Because
wow.
if you want to mulch deep, you need to have your plants kind of mounded up into hills that kind of make the mulch be shallow at your plant base so that you can have your roots play and be all crazy down at the bottom. Like, they can be fine down there, but you got to have your oxygen roots at the top. You can't just have every piece of root just completely down below.
Dude, I've never thought about that, Q. My only point with even bringing that up and saying that opinion was when Indiana backyard gardener said mulch. I don't think everybody understands what mulch is. And the reason I say this, I go I go to people's houses, but dude, mulch is this thick. Let's be honest. It's this thick. And dude, it can't be healthy for your roots. So it's something I never hear people talking about. Of
Well,
course,
even for perennials, it's not healthy if it's that thick.
yeah, I know people say, don't put it up against base of trees or base of your plant, but nobody talks too much about how thick it is. They keep it 6 inches from the base of the plant or the tree, but then it's this goddamn thick. I mean, so, but I've thought a lot about mulching, and I'm gonna say something else weird. I'm only gonna use wood chips if they're affordable. Let's start there. If they're affordable.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
The pine straw is cool, but it's hard. It don't look pretty to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. It don't look good, and I haven't seen anything to make me think that pine straw has to be laid.
Has any what?
Huh?
Has any what?
Pine straw hasn't shown me anything to say that pine straw is better than something else.
It's free as most things. That's about it. I can tell you that.
I mean, it's one of those things where you got to kind of going back to the point of how thick things are. There's different textures of mulch, right? I mean, you got big pieces of wood chips and you got finely grounded pieces of wood chips, and you can be deceived by those finely grounded pieces of wood because they look so great, and they are so great when you first put them down until they start getting rained on and they start getting watered a lot. Then they compact, and then they run into the problem of what Broke was talking about at first, what we was referring to with the mulch. They'll start to cause your stem to do weird things and everything because now it's all straight up compacted. But with pine straw, I think it's underrated a little bit, to be honest. A lot of people don't really mess with it.
And if you're using pine straw, the way I've seen pine straw, great points. First of all, Q, really good points you made there. But I've seen pine straw look nice in a landscaping regard when this guy had this technique. I think it was actually Pete Denny, where he would like tuck the pine straw in on itself, so it almost like created like the comb over flap kind of appearance at the curb, the edge of like the live edge that was created. Now he also had a live edge going too, and it looked really clean. And as that the pine straw kind of nets together and settles, it looked really, really good. That's the only time I've seen it look good though. He had a very specific technique he was using.
Now, pause right there for a minute. The sweet spot in the building, Tina. I mean, Kits, Kitchen and Garden in the building. Nikki in the building. Now, say,
Nikki.
I want to tackle this one about Ultimate Acre. BrokeFarmer pine doesn't keep away pests. Pine straw causes roaches. Let's start there.
Hold up, wait, what?
You getting thrown off by Nikki, aren't you?
He said no. Broke said pine straw causes roaches.
No. It draws roaches. Draws roaches. Google
I'm gonna take it from a pro.
So it literally gets a pencil and draws a picture of a roach. No, I'm messing with you.
I just thought that was pretty good. I'll give you that one. But no, when I did a video on different mulches and the benefits of mulches and different mulches, one of the things that always stood out to me was that pine straw mulch is more apt to have roaches. I don't know if roaches enjoy pine straw or what, but they're more. There you go, sunshine. There we go. Let me see somebody. I'm clicking on somebody who agreed with me, of course. Sunshine Thomas. Roaches live in pine trees. But yes, pine straw harbors roaches. Yeah.
Well, on top of that too, you got to think about what pine straw does when it. So compared to wood chips, which take a lot longer to kind of get that soggy, kind of spongy feel to them when they're decomposing, and they really don't do that a lot when they're on the top layer. Like pine straw, when it's kind of mulched in there, it's kind of soggy to a degree at some point, and they probably like that moisture.
Oh, y'all just messed me up with this.
What?
I'm not going to say a family. There's a particular family member's house I used to go to quite often when I was a youth, and it was like the roaches was just there with you. They just hang out with you.
They was just hanging on the faucet doing pull-ups.
And it's not like it was a dirty. It's not like it was a dirty home or anything. It was just a normal thing. It was just you got roaches, but they were surrounded by pine.
Oh dang! So it's probably more so about that pine thing anyway. Then
what?
I mean, because look, wait a minute. Look, the stuff that oozes out of them, they got this like kind of smell, kind of like a sappy sweetness to them too.
Are you tasting roaches now?
No, the pine, the sap.
About the tree.
But I am talking about the tree.
Turd, come back, big guy. Turd, guy, come back.
Well, because I'm thinking about why the roaches would want to live on the pines. You know what I'm saying? Like they got something. The tree is doing something that other trees aren't, that makes the roach want to be there.
Oh boy,
dude! But I mean, it's just
now all the pine property.
It was crazy because
I don't see roaches, dog. I can't. I can't.
I got deep on that video and did a lot of research. Out of all the research I did, that's the only thing I remember from it. Pine causes roaches. That's all I remember from it. But
that's all from this live right now. Roaches. You got me.
And they might like pine tar.
Pine saw they like pine. You silly.
But they don't like. I don't think roaches like pine saw though.
Yes,
pine saw got a clean.
Well, no, she said pine tar, which is like the.
Tar. Oh, that's the sap that he was talking about, right?
Yeah. Shouldn't pine tar smell like pine? You know what? I've been watching. I'm thinking about that later on the commercial. Never mind.
That pine saw not from nature, dog. That's
that's some super synthetic stuff right there, boy.
I'm thinking about that smell. It's not the same.
No.
Nigga said turf. The root of the roach say flee fast the chicken.
Has that purple stuff and the catfish. He wanted it all, man. Rudy was there every summer. He was there ready for me. He was like, "Hey man, what's up?" It's like, hey, my mama told me you can't come home with me, and I was
Dude,
like, all
look,
right.
crazy. I mean, I hate to bring this up, but since you brought the story up, growing up, you know how kids play in the backyard and take their shoes off. Well, we used to play at somebody's house and take our shoes off, but when we went in the house, I made sure I put my shoes back on for that very reason.
Ooh.
But
Dang. Oh wait, you
moving
played
on
barefoot outside and then put your shoes on inside.
inside
That's
to
deep.
come in the door.
I
That's
will
deep.
say that I had some family that lived in the projects, and when I visited their house, I mean, they had roaches on everywhere, literally
Yeah.
everywhere.
I stayed in the project. I didn't have roaches.
And that's the
had
thing.
roaches.
I think that it was probably just just their abode. I don't. It's like unit, or it was their unit, and it's like I don't know. My cousin actually who lived there had a roach crawl in his ear when he was asleep.
Ooh.
All jokes aside, though, I saw someone asked about would pine straw turn your soil acidic. I would argue, and I've seen this study done before. Someone take a soil sample right underneath a pine tree where pine needles have been falling for the past 10, 15 years, and the pH value difference between right up underneath that tree and 40 feet away is all of like zero point 0.3. So the concern of it turning your soil acidic, I wouldn't worry about it. And them joints take forever to break down on top of all that too.
And that's something else I've been thinking about. A lot of people was talking about different things you can mulch with and all that about turning your soil acidic, like pine nuggets and all that stuff like that. That's got to break down. But I'm thinking in the process of breaking down, it can't have those same acidic properties to it once it breaks down as it did before it broke down.
I mean, even over time, like I said, it takes forever to break down. The pine needle itself is super acidic, yes. The bark and the tree itself is acidic, yes. But over a break, look, I'll figure out and pull up the study one day and actually go over it on my channel because I was interested. But the difference between like 30 to 40 feet away from the pine tree underneath it was almost negligible. So, yes,
I
it's
think
acidic, but by the time it breaks down in this in your soil, the amount of time and the amount of volume of pine straw you need, it's like peat moss. Peat moss is an acidic uh, organic material as well, super acidic, but it's not really enough to shift my pH dramatically. It's just not going to do it.
Now,
I think
anytime
that
you
I think that anytime. Well, let me add this real quick. I think that a lot of times with things that are acidic in nature, as a solid object, people look too much into like the actual acidity of them, because once, like Broke said, once they actually break down, the end product of that result is not acidic per se. But what I will say about that, like the pine being in the environment, is the biology that's connected to the pine tree, that's connected to the blueberry, that's connected to all these other things that are acidic, are going to provide that acidic boost that that plant needs as that material breaks down, as opposed to say something that's more alkaline in nature. So that's more so what you're looking at when you're throwing pine stuff under a blueberry, or like trying to make like that acidic kind of punch happen in that regard. So not trying to go too deep into that, but just trying to touch on that part of it.
Yeah.
Now look, oh, the phone ringing, but look, can y'all hold on? I gotta mute, man. Can y'all hold on?
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
I want to hit on it again. You had a really good who said it? Yeah, so Indiana Backyard Garden says, so why do people use pine bark in planting blueberries? And then right behind them, who came in and said it? G Mama Grow says pine bark and pine straw are two different consistencies. Absolutely, yes. But the when you could buy that soil acidifier, the running ingredient that has the most acid profile to it is the sulfur. It's not necessarily the pine bark. Now, the pine bark is a conducive material to that plant, but it's the sulfur that's in the potting mix that you got that's actually creating, like if you buy a soil acidifier, flip it over, look on it. It's most likely ammonium sulfate in there. and or a higher level of sulfur than anything else, and that's where your acid is coming from.
But to that exact point, like that source of acid, it doesn't necessarily, unless you're talking about like a potted plant, and even then like it's questionable when you're talking about a completely composted medium. Like you're not really gonna have like a super acidic soil because of the amendment that you added to it. That's really that like what I was trying to get to with that, because yeah, it's doing what the plant needs to have that acidic nutrient. That's why, okay, so that's why when you add like a liquid nutrient to something, you have to pH it so much, because you're directly feeding the plant, as opposed to like doing a cycle. You're feeding the plant directly, so of course you're having to get the pH right on point to where it's like straight up eating it. Not all the time are you feeding it directly. It depends on the liquid you're using. Like if you're using 511, that's not straight up directly giving nitrogen to the plant. You know, that's actually giving, but
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That was a good topic.
Now, all right, I missed everything you say, so I'm probably going to butt head as soon as I say what I say.
Your
now,
mic seems low now, bro. I don't know if you did something to it. Your
my
mic,
mic's low?
it seems a little quieter.
A little bit, yeah, just a little bit.
Well, I can still hear you, but it just seems a little low.
What about now?
You sound good.
All right, I was far away.
All right.
But when I planted my blueberries, of course I was going to mulch them. And like you were saying, Turf, it has a small amount of acidity to it. So once I took a soil sample, and my soil was a little high for blueberries, the wooden mulch and the pine bark mulch was the same price. I think the pine bark was cheaper. So I bought that for the little acidity property of it when I planted them. That's why I did it.
Okay. Yeah. I like it.
Since we're getting questions, there's some good questions in this chat, dude. Look here.
Is it cool to use burnt pine biochar for nitrogen?
Who said and where did?
I would make sure that.
So
you go ahead, yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's burnt pine and it's biochar, then the nitrogen source that would have been there. Well, first, a bark of something actually needs nitrogen to break it down. So I am hesitant to even say, and I will say with 90% confidence, that there was no nitrogen source to deliver. Biochar is more of a carrier of some type of nutrient to the insect. You could take that pine biochar, mix it up with something like chicken poo, right, which does have nutritious value to it. Mix it up with itself, and then place that on a plant. And what that could do in theory, I don't know, because I'm not a biochar expert, and there's many different forms of biochar, and you have to be careful because sometimes you can lock up nutrients when you're trying to do this. But it's worth experimenting with it and figuring out how it goes. And there's like different cook procedures that you have to get it to get a certain, but we're not going to dig into that. We're going to start surface level. When you do that, what it does is it helps release and capture excess amount of nutrients that the plant's not readily using. So you're more so using that as a carrier to hold the nutrients, whatever the plant's not using, and then it releases it over time. And then the plant doesn't use it, then it sucks it back up in the biochar. That's kind of what biochar is there for. That's its purpose, its usual use when it comes to fertilizer. It doesn't carry any nutritional value other than being an organic material. If you're trying to add organic material to something and not necessarily nutrients, you could use it for that.
Nah.
But be careful with biochar. Be careful.
It sounds like a lot of work. Let's start there.
It's carbon. There you go. Carbon.
But yeah, biochar is interesting. It's definitely interesting. You go ahead.
No, Q, you can go ahead. Look at the question. I'm trying to activate my biochar this weekend. All I have to do is mix it with worm castings and flour, right?
Well, like, and that was like an alley-oop to what I was gonna like talk about in regards to biochar. So when I've used biochar in the past, what I've done is, it was back when I actually had chickens at that particular point on the property that I lived at. and we took the chicken bedding. We did deep litter bedding, like in the coops, which we use alfalfa for. We use alfalfa hay, and we would like basically we would stack it up 3 times. So the first time it got dirty, we would stack up a new layer like 6 inches deep of alfalfa hay. Let them beat that down. One more layer. Let them beat that down. Then we clean the chicken coop, and the chickens loved it. They just chilled in there. But we took that's hay, and then we would take it and use it for special things like either mulch, super mulch, or whatever, or we would just take it and then literally charge biochar with it. We would activate our biochar with it. We would literally take it, throw our biochar inside of a vat, and then sink the grass on the bottom or whatnot, and then just like let the juices from the alfalfa and the poop and all that stuff just mix in with the biochar, and then we would apply it in the particular planting situation. But we would only use it like 10% of the medium if we use pots. Like we wouldn't even start to encroach into bigger parts, because you got to be careful, like Turf said, like, because it's really, we can't even determine how much the biochar is taken in. So just still use it as if you're using it fresh out the bag, maybe just a little bit more, but it's a battery, like Turf was saying.
But let me ask you this now: for the people that's not in the biochar like me, I've never been into it because it seemed like way too much work. Is it worth the work?
Bro, it's easy. Make it a fire pit and make you some biochar.
Yeah,
Cute.
I mean,
You just talked about it for 10 minutes. Come on.
for me, because I've seen what goes wrong when not done the right way, and I've seen it because the guy. I don't know if you remember Matt Martin. Does that name ring a bell? Okay, so he is a chemistry major who has been making his own fertilizer from scratch for a long time. I'll talk about using the proper equipment, testing it, taking samples, and he has an extensive amount of knowledge on biochar. And I might actually have him as a guest and just talk biochar, because for me, if I want biochar, I'm just going to buy it. I'm going to buy it from a reputable source, and I know what their source material is, and I know that they're using the right process to do it. I understand how to make it, and I don't knock anyone who has a science and they have a method and it's working for them. Do it. Is it anything I'm interested in trying to figure out? No. But the risk of messing up is so high, and the long-term damage you could do to your soil is so high. And I'm not saying this to scare you, I'm just warning you. Do your research before you start doing it, because you could cause way more damage than you intended if you don't do it properly. It's a battery. What happens when you overcharge a battery? Stuff comes up. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
yeah. So could you kind of like on a surface level, not even getting deep at all, like elaborate on some of the horror stories that you might have heard with biochar? Because that's like a great scratcher, because it's not, obviously we're not going to build a whole topic on it, but it's a great scratcher to like kind of just, it's interesting. Like you piqued my interest with that.
It sounds like this topic.
just holler at your extension office, man, because they have some good probably data points and some advice that you're not just going off of some YouTuber or some person who's been in the middle of the woods doing it their way and it's been working for them specific to their soil profile. And there's no knocking on any YouTuber out there who's in the middle of the woods and talking about biochar. I don't know. I just pulled it out of thin air. I'm just saying, if you go to your extension office, they can educate you on things like this and give you practical ways of doing it. And what they're going to do is the instructions they give you is going to be room for error, where you don't have to worry about causing any damage and most likely achieving the results you want and having fun, right? You're just trying to have fun. You want to grow some food and you want to try these new practices. Do it. I encourage it. Just do your research. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And like do it in a 2x2 bed over there to the side. You know what I'm saying?
Do that. Do that on your test plot. Your test pocket, your experiment that you run and see how it works. So have a control. Run a little science project. Have a control. Have one that you give regular fertilizer to, the one that you make your fertilizer concoction with your biochar, and then you have a control that you don't do anything to. Run your science experiment, do it for a year, and see what happens.
Now, if y'all want more information on biochar, Turf Therapy or Lion Chris will have a video or live biochar and the uses and should you be using it. But now on to a super complicated, super duper, way more complicated question than biochar. Q, you got a more sweet potato vine?
I got some more, but I'm not. They ain't up for sale no more.
Okay.
It's a little too hot. It's a little too hot now. It's a little too hot now. I felt the alley oop. I appreciate that. Bro.
Okay. First off, and the reason I say this because look here, nobody in this chat has Okinawa sweet potato. And look here, the greatest thing about gardening to me, probably not the greatest, but one of the greatest appeals of gardening is to being able to eat whatever you want. You can never say, I can't eat that. As a gardener, you can eat and grow whatever you want to grow. And that was the big appeal to the Okinawa sweet potatoes. Never heard of them, never tasted them. I wanted them. And as a gardener, I decided to do it.
Hold on, wait. Let me see. There's our answer. You can't really see everything. But
Yeah, he says sure. He says sure. I can't. Yeah,
right. And this is him.
Yeah, that's Matt
cooking up some daggone biochar.
Did you say Matt? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Matt.
Matt.
He's in his lab doing stuff. I say, hey, we want to talk about biochar. He says sure. So we're gonna make that happen, and I'm gonna make sure he keeps it on a 5th grade reading level, so I can understand.
Yeah, because for real,
a smart 3rd grader.
A smart 3rd grader.
Because I want to be like so don't take this as go make if you're gonna do this in a test plot go do a fire pit, make some biochar if you're gonna have a test plot, do that. But I mean, I would like to actually, if Matt could kind of steer it in the direction of it, be able to actually do have a little fire pit going that you actually know that you're doing the right thing with your biochar, and then just harvest the results of it,
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing if he has a logic and theory like, hey, get this source material, do this, do that, don't do this, stay away from that. I may even play with the experiment myself, because this man has had a lot of experience with it. So we're gonna make that happen.
And cool things about the community always looking out for each other. We saw a need in the community, the need got met. That's just what it's all about. OG, GNC, homegrown groceries and concoctions in the building. Glad to have you in here. Now, G Mama is talking about something real close to my heart. I discovered one of my mystery citrus trees is a lime tree. Glad to hear that. Now, this the well, first off, before we go into deeper, at 7:30, our professor of our gardening community is going live at 7:30, or I think
it's gonna be 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern, and it's probably gonna be about 30 minutes. It's gonna be a nice little chill after party vibe. That after we do this, we could just chill and kick back a little bit.
Dude, we're gonna have to start using military time because there's so many different time zones on YouTube.
Zulu and Zulu time. That's what you mean. Zulu time, where it just stays the same. I think right now Zulu time it is like 4 a.m. You don't want to use Zulu time; it's just going to confuse you.
Military time is the same in every state, right?
No, military time is the rest of the world time, which is when we count all 24 hours in the day and not breaking them up in 12 for the morning and 12 in the evening. That's
okay. It's 14:53 here. What time is it there, Q? In military time,
it's not 14:53 where you are.
It's definitely 17. It's definitely 1753.
Where we are right now, bro, it is 18:53, meaning it's the
18:53.
It's the 18 hour, 53 minute of the day. When it hits midnight, right before midnight, it is 2400. It is a full day. When it starts over after midnight, 2 and 10 after midnight, it is 0010. They literally use this time everywhere else in the world. America is the only one who wants to be different and put an AM and a PM.
Black's tropical. I didn't mean 14:53. I meant 18:53.
Yeah, 14:53 means it's 2:53 on the East Coast, which is not right.
Let's throw a toss-up discussion. We got a few minutes left in here. Now, to the chat, we want to know what's going on and questions you have about gardening, life, or whatever. So let's make it truly interactive. Me, Turf, and Cuban talking. Time for people in the chat to talk. Come on, let's talk. What's going on? Let me know something. But for those who didn't know, I was talking to Tina, chatting with her in her live, and I got winged beans. I'm waiting for them to come through Monday. Winged beans, big win for me. that one mysterious plant that I wanted. I find it. Now I gotta make it grow.
You know what's
Gee.
crazy?
Have a good evening, Indiana Backyard Gardener.
See you
Thank
later. See you later.
for contributing all the great information tonight, man. We
Appreciate that, Indiana Backyard Gardener. What's up, Q?
Oh well.
My bad. I just wanted to get that out there before I forgot.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. You were saying G?
No, I was just saying no. GE Adai. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, but I'm good. I was just about to. I was thinking something that it was a passing thought.
Miss Shirley, Swiss chard. We were talking about Swiss chard the other night on T-Nox channel, and it's really easy to grow, and I found it interesting how it changes its flavor profile based off the conditions of the environment. So, like for me, and this is just me, I guess, I'm just gonna speak for myself, and it was bright light Swiss chard. During the summer, it was even saltier than it usually is. Now it's salty by nature, but it had a real salt kick to it, which was a refreshing salt kick. You mix it in with some other greens, but yeah, and it's hard to mess up. It's hard to die. It doesn't really bolt easily either. So
I just planted some.
yeah, I've never grown it in my garden from seed. Like someone gave me a plant and I just planted it, but I've never grown it. I'm gonna drop some seeds when I get back.
Yeah,
well,
it's good. It's you know how it tastes, but I've grown it from seed like one time, and the leaves get huge.
I've never grown it, and I'm trying it from seed. I can't remember somebody sent me some ruby red chard seed. So I can't give it all. I got a video. You know how that works. I got a video coming.
Video slide. That's dawning. I've seen that across the community, both gardening and lawn care. She's talking about how did anyone else go straight from winter to summer? We skipped spring all through the nation, this year. Me, not so much in Germany, but that sucks, man. To make the jump like that, that's rough.
I probably had 2 months of winter, probably less than 2 months, because it was hot on Christmas, but one humble soul in the building. Fruit tree question. I hope I don't screw this one up. How long can fruit trees stay in the bucket before it needs to go into the ground?
It's a trick question.
Yes. I'm gonna fall for the trick though, but watch how I wiggle out of it, sir. Watch how I wiggle out of this.
Go ahead and do it then, bro.
First off, how big is the tree? Because the roots have something to do with how tall the tree is. If your tree is super tall and roots super short, it ain't gonna work. So you can't keep. I just figured out the trigger there. What's the fruit tree?
There we go.
Look, Turf Day, I'm looking out, dude. I was halfway. I said, wait.
Wait, what kind of tree we talk about? Some fruit trees don't have a taproot. Some fruit trees do have a taproot. The loquat has a taproot. Loquat, you don't want to keep a loquat in the container too long because the taproot will start wrapping around itself and it'll kill itself. So,
you almost got me. Oh, yeah. That close. That close. A
little bit more information. One humble soul to actually it's an apple and a peach tree. Okay.
Oh, an apple and a peach. Well, first off, an apple and a peach in a container ain't a good idea. And
they could be dwarf. Are they dwarf?
Even dwarf. I don't think it's certain trees. I don't feel like were meant to be in containers. And to me, apple and peaches are one of them. First off, I still got it up there. How long can fruit trees stay in the bucket before it needs to go in the ground? I wouldn't say over 2 years. And what size is the bucket? Is it a 5-gallon bucket? Because after probably 1 year, you're gonna have to up pot it. So a peach and an apple, if it's a 5-gallon bucket, I say max 2 years, and then either you got to go to a big container or put it in the ground if you can. If you can't, you got to go to a big container. But anything after that, those trees grow big. Even okay, unless it's a dwarf like Turf say.
Yeah. So typically, when you get a brand new fruit tree, from what I've seen, you could probably keep it in a container even if it's not a dwarf for the first few years, and be okay if you're rocking with at least a 10 to 15 gallon container. With both of
But
those
you won't
varieties. But you're not, and I think what Broke is saying is you ain't gonna be able to get the fruit that you want off of it in those
exactly
containers. But
full growth.
what you're focused on those few years is root development and climate conditioning. You're not necessarily worried about harvesting. You're worried about root development and climate conditioning. Now, if you want to keep it in the container its entirety of its life, then what I would do is put it in a much larger container, somewhere around 40 gallons. Get a dwarf variety, and make sure you keep it watered during your windy season and your hot season, because wind takes a lot of moisture out of these plants as well, mulch it heavy, and you'll be okay. Or is your tree going to produce like the tree that's in the ground? No, it's in a bucket. But can you do it? Absolutely. It just depends. So I think both of those plants are safe to keep in the bucket indefinitely. You just need a large enough container. Understanding expectation management. Don't expect to harvest off of a tree. I think the things that do best in containers is citrus. Like,
Yes,
hands down. Dwarf
I
citrus,
agree.
hands down. You can get away with a lot. But apples, that's a hard push.
But think about it like this. All right, an apple tree, even a dwarf apple tree will get to 8 feet, and that's a full eight, probably I don't know 8 to 10 feet, probably 8 to 10 feet, and that's maxing out a dwarf tree. Now, if you got that in a container, it's never gonna reach its max. And like Turf say, you're not gonna get the fruit you want. So you didn't buy this tree to get 8 apples a year. You bought this tree to get more apples every year. You know what I mean? And that's my thinking behind it. If you put an apple in the ground, you're gonna get the full of what you wanted out of it. I don't know, dude. That's
I do think it's important to keep the fruit trees in the container for a couple years to allow it to climate adjust and allow the roots to mature. Unless you have a really mature plant already, because you put it in the ground, you can lose it just like that. Controlling your environment in the container, that's just my personal opinion. This is not even from experience. This is just from watching other people and the reading that I've done. And I'm sure Q has a point on it, and I'm going to shut up now so he can have his point.
Well, no, like I was actually gonna let y'all just kind of go on it because, I mean, I know what I've read about trees, but I've never planted a fruit tree myself. So like that's something that I want to get into, and I don't really want to elaborate on something I truly haven't experienced. So you know what I mean?
What I'm gonna elaborate with little to no scientific evidence behind it, if y'all mind. Now, what Turf is saying is solid information. That is the information you need when you're growing fruit trees. Me, it's certain it's certain stuff that I'm willing to put in the ground small for the growth in the long run. Now, if it's something, and when people anytime, okay, let's talk about something else that I don't think people talk about. When they say a tree is cold-hearted down to a certain degree, that means a mature tree. If your tree is cold-hearted down to -10 and it's 6 inches, 20 degrees might kill it. Let's be honest for a minute. So we're saying that I experiment a lot, and I try to make sure people understand that I'm doing some stuff out there in that yard. It is not always a good idea. I planted Satsuma trees. It's probably 2 feet. It's kind of what I do, but I tell you, don't do what I do. Watch what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This she said, well, how long can she expect to harvest when grown in containers? And you got to ask yourself this. If you have a 13-year-old child, male or female, do you want them to have children? No. You're going to tell yourself they're too young. So think about, I'm going to equate tree years almost to dog years. 1-year-old tree is equivalent to a 4-year-old adult. So I would want my tree to be what? With that math, public math, here we go, 5 years old before I'm expecting big things. Now, keep in mind the trees that you get from the big box store are usually a cheat code, right? They got a fake ID, meaning They have a rootstock on them that's a good 3-4 years old, and then they graft onto that and then let it grow for another year before they give it to you. So the bottom of that plant looks a lot older than that child actually is. So expectation management, right? These kids, they out here, they got fake IDs, 16 looking like you're 20. So when you keep all that stuff in mind, when you're expecting fruit from your tree, I would just go into it expecting at least 2 seasons before you're harvesting more than just 5 to 10 fruit at the end of the season. Prime example, I have two cherry trees that are 4 or 5 years old. The first year that I planted them in the containers they're in, I maybe have about 20, 30 cherries and I'm going to harvest in about 2 months. And that's how old that tree is. So,
All right, we're
looking
gonna
at
we're
three
gonna
to
go.
five.
I'm gonna add one thing to that. Sunshine Thomas said many don't own land, so container planting is what's left. I would argue that maybe apple trees ain't what you want to grow in containers. It's so much other things that grow great in containers. Like Turf was talking about citrus. Citrus grows well in containers. So maybe apples ain't the thing to grow.
Dwarf peach can do really
Or
well.
peaches. And first off, I heard Leah say patio peaches are disgusting. So for the people thinking about patio peaches,
Yeah,
okay.
get you a dwarf. What is it called? A dwarf red haven. Get you a dwarf red haven.
I got that red haven. But Q,
What's
Myra
up?
said, do peanut shells have gardening value? My daughter eats 5 pounds of peanuts a week.
They'll have some value. The thing about it though, when you're looking at composting just the shells of something, as opposed to composting the whole of something, you're not going to get the whole nutritional value of what it is that you're looking to actually compost per se. Because that's what you're going to be doing with them. Even if you mulch with them, they're going to break down over time and they're going to become part of the soil like that. But just the shell, I mean, if you're adding other amendments, the shell's going to add help. But if you're only adding peanut shells, that is not going to be a source of nutrition that you want to go with. You know what I mean? But outside of that, it's not going to cause any harm. In fact, it's going to probably make, especially if you mix it and till it into the top soil profile, it'll kind of help with actually making some of that water penetrate the soil and things like that, and keeping that soil oxygenated at the same time. So, I mean, there's benefits to it from a physical standpoint, but not so much an immediate feeding standpoint.
And that's not the ones that y'all boil and put tons of salt on and then throw in your garden. You can't do it like that. Sunshine said the Bible gives a tree 7 years for fruit. No fruit, chop it, plant another one. Big facts. Facts. I agree completely. Michael Farmer in the building. Glad to have you here.
What's
Michael
up?
Farmer.
What's up, Michael? What's going on, bro?
Here we go. Oh, no. So all right, we got Q going live at 7:30. We got 5 more minutes. We're gonna get out here so everybody can use the bathroom and get them some cold to drink. Cause Q gonna cool us down over there. You know what I mean? Sunshine Thomas says, so do pineapple and banana trees, grape pot trees, or pineapple and banana grape trees that planting containers? Pineapple, I've only seen people grow. Well, no, I have seen Black's Tropical put pineapples in the ground, but
Dan too.
who?
Dan, grow
Dan
everything.
Tropical. Man, to be honest, I don't know. I've killed 2 banana trees, and I'm not gonna speak.
There's like a dwarf blue ice cream something banana plant that will do okay. And I think keeping them in the container is probably your only option when you're not in the right climate. And then go to dwarf variety again, if you can. That's what I would say. They can do it, but it's not the best thing.
I can't leave them outside here.
Yeah, you can't leak. Right, it gets too cold for you. You gotta put a daggone thing around it.
Say, can I take raspberry cuttings now, or should I wait later this year? Find some wild ones nearby.
Where I say if you are zone 8A or below, I would wait unless you're taking the cuttings inside. I would wait. It's
Yeah.
getting hot. It's about to get real hot. There's also a book that I have, the best time to take cuttings and do graftings, for plants. But that book also is assuming that that plant is native in that environment. So
Man,
that's another
boy,
twist on it.
I,
So
I don't know about
the
that.
best time to do those things. Think about it. As things wake up in the spring, right? Right as it wakes up, let it wake up, take your cutting. That's life, signs of life. And or when the heat is down and it doesn't have to stress out, hurry up and take your cutting like uh midsummer, early fall, take your cutting, get it established. Those are the two best times to do cuttings and grafts and stuff like that. You trying to do, here we go again, Sam. You trying to do cuttings and grafts and it's oh Jesus hot outside, it's a bad op.
Yeah, I don't know. I got an opinion on that, but it's not based with no science, and I'm trying to get away from just shooting out the hip. So I'm not gonna
Well,
tell you
bro, you done it. You done it, man. Tell them.
that's why I don't want to say it.
Yeah, you done it.
because
You know,
because
you be pulling off the impossible over there. And this is what we think we know. We place limitations on nature all the time. I'm giving you the information for the best results. Then Broke gonna tell you what he actually pulled off in his garden.
no,
So,
I'm not gonna do that because first off, Turf gave you the correct information. Everything I've read and been taught, Turf is 100% correct. So I'm not putting nobody out there on a limb like that, but I've done some weird stuff that's worked, and I don't know if it's a one-time thing. So I'm trying not to say stuff like that no more. So I'm trying to sit back. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
and that's some great information right there from them soul gangsters over there.
so gangster, what they talking about?
Yeah. Oh, they said the Cavendish only gets 5 feet tall, so it's great for a container. The dwarf
I got-
Cavendish.
I recently got a dwarf Musa, and I heard the bananas weren't good on it, but I got it cheap, and I want to learn about bananas, so I got it. So
Okay.
I don't know. It probably ain't gonna work out. I'm probably gonna kill it. I've killed 2 already. But
I saw a question about growing different raspberries, and most raspberries self-pollinate is the short answer. The longer answer is the more that you have, cross pollination occurs, but whether or not you'll taste the difference, probably not, and you'll end up with more berries. So you don't need more; they can most likely take care of themselves. But if you do get more, it's not going to hurt anything.
and something else. All right, I want to say this about cuttings. Before you take a cutting, understand some cuttings are easier to take than some. Sometimes you take cuttings from things that's hard to get cuttings from, and it don't work out, and you start blaming yourself.
Mm.
First off, mulberry cuttings are easy to take. Fig cuttings are easy to take. Sweet potato slips, the root is easy. I guess it's something else like that. So understand what you're trying to take cuttings from. It's some stuff that's almost darn near impossible to take cuttings from. So
Yeah.
understand what's going on before you do any of that. So we're gonna get out of here, but Turf, let the people know what you want them to know, and then Q, tell them what they gonna know when they come over there in a little while.
I like that. Hey, I got 3 plants that you probably never heard about that you should be growing in your garden before you grow lettuce. The video's coming in the next week or so.
Oh, teaser, you dirty joker. Dirty joker. Dirty joker. Boy, I had the pen and the paper right here, Turf. Sir. Q, what's up, Bob?
Well,
What we about to go get into?
if you come over to my channel, to my live,
If.
hey, when you come over to my channel, when you come over to my live, you're gonna be just saturated. Let's use that word, saturated.
Ooh, big word.
Because we're gonna be watering harder, not smarter. I mean, smarter, not harder. let's say it right. We're gonna be watering smarter, not harder. Not just about application. We're gonna talk a few things about it and how we can be a little bit more effective and have a little bit of a defense going into these summer months.
Q.
It's CR. Thank you, CR.
CR, appreciate that. CR,
Hey.
BrokeFarmer. Okay, you know where that money going. I'm saving up for a new fruit tree right now, and I can't tell you what it is.
He
What
about to
up,
blow
Uncle
that Dollar
Stacy?
Tree in the morning. Don't pay him.
What up, Uncle Stacy?
You know, you already know, Tur. Hey, but look, we headed out. You got 15 minutes. What you need to do, go to the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you got to do. That's
Get
your
you a
business.
libation.
That's your business. Get them a what, Tur?
Libation.
Libation. I call it alcohol over this way. Alcohol.
Be getting thirsty on Thursday today.
It is
God
Thursday.
darn it. There we go. Thursday. And y'all, first
That's
off,
already taken. That's already taken. Just let you know. But not in the garden community. It's taken in the. You know where that come from, Q.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
look, we finna go over there and we finna get deep on whatever Q talking about, because I've never went over there and like, I really didn't learn that. I've never came out one of Q lives thinking that. And I don't mean to put the pressure on your shoulder, but 61 people that's over here.
Apply the pressure.
Hey,
What?
we're gonna be going deep, but we ain't gonna be in the ocean today. We're gonna be in the pond. So
There we
Well,
go.
I'm gonna go ahead. Turf said apply. Then I'm gonna tell you, Q is one of the greatest when it comes to understanding what it takes to grow a plant. One of the greatest. And I'm gonna give him that shout out. And if you don't agree with it, go over there and watch. And if you are not thoroughly impressed,
Prove me wrong.
no, hit the like button first.
hey, I'm the greatest to get my tail whooped and coming back from it. That's where it's at.
hit the like button first before you do anything. And then, prove him wrong. But good guy. Turf therapy is definitely a good guy. For end of your lawn or garden needs, hit up turf therapy. I mean, if you didn't see his video, if you got a lawn rebuild, you might want to see what turf therapy talking about over there. You might be utterly impressed. I'm just gonna put it out there like that. And Lion Crest, I can't say enough. I've said enough. Let's get out of here. I've enjoyed y'all. Thanks to all the moderators for making this real cool. I didn't have no kind of, nothing on the chat. It went fine. Appreciate all the moderators.
Hey, that's
Appreciate
awesome.
my co-host for a great and enjoyable time. I've enjoyed myself. I hope y'all have too.
Peace. What's up, Battle? Stacy, I see you.
What's up? Oh, whoa. Stop. We ain't going nowhere. Lady Ella in the building.
Hey,
Say, I love seeing you, my brothers in the Lord, educating the people. Look here, Lady Ella.
Hey,
blessings.
that's love right there.
All
Hey.
the time. Look, usually I go live every other Sunday. I'm not going live this Sunday, but Sunday after this, I'll be in there and hope to see you there. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot to me. Now we're gonna go out. So
Hey.
appreciate y'all.
Much love to everybody.
Back up.
Appreciate that, Lady Ella. That was beautiful.